Hello and welcome to the corner. I'm the Frosted Glass. I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages. I like boobs.
Who the fuck is Remo Williams?
Nobody knows. Moonshock.
I like pizza.
Pizza?
Haven't you ever seen A Multiplicity?
No.
Oh, wait, I forgot. You don't watch movies. Never mind.
Isn't that a chick flick or something?
I watch plenty of movies. You're just picking obscure, 90s straight to video things.
There's nothing straight about the movies Moonshock watches.
I'm pretty sure that Moonshock is the gayest man alive.
For the
Probably.
record, I don't walk around in. Well, actually, yes, I do. Never mind. Pass. Next person, please.
Terry Diamantis.
To everyone who helped Frosted get 300 subscribers, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You need to subscribe to Terry. We need more people to subscribe to Terry.
Hey, I have 208 people on Twitch. Woohoo!
And this week's special guest, Jack Cochran.
Hi, everybody. How do you guys not know Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins?
Hey, chat, put a 1 in chat if you've ever heard of Remo Williams. Put a 2 if you don't know what the fuck Jack is talking about.
Nobody knows, apparently.
It's some movie starring Burt Ward.
Yeah, Burt Ward died today. It also has, I believe, Roddy McDowell as
No,
Chun.
Fred Ward
Asian
died,
face.
not Burt Ward.
Fred Ward is a legend. Burt Ward got really fat, and that's why he couldn't be Robin anymore.
Burt Ward likes to be behind Batman. Oh, actually,
That's
no.
like a
Batman
little
is
one.
behind him.
Brandon, what the fuck you talking? You say you didn't hear. You've never heard of Remo Williams.
You heard about it 5 minutes ago when we were talking about it. Thank you, Eagle and Evil One, and Brandley and Spittlebuggy, and Old Guy.
Okay,
Old Dodgy
I'm being told now that Brandon
Retro.
does in fact own a copy of Remo Williams. So he lied to us.
Of course he does. Well, what do you say we start off with our first article? And this is one I was saving for Jack.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, God.
The Green Arrow Guide to Becoming a Social Justice Warrior.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The pain.
Oliver
This
Queen on
hurts.
protecting the little guy. Comics, like other storytelling mediums, that would be media if it's plural, have often been used to address a range of political issues such as immigration, gun control, and climate change. Superheroes have been used as symbols for different movements, but few characters have stuck to their political and philosophical principles quite like Green Arrow.
Yeah, stop doing that.
All right, hold on just one second. Sorry, I missed it. I was getting some pizza. Who's the author of this
Oh,
book?
rub it in. Look, at least it's not Harry Potter this time.
Jamie Ryder.
Rider or Y?
Why? R-Y-D.
One moment, please.
Let's see. Oliver Queen has emerged as a voice of liberal activism and social change. A self-proclaimed defender of the little guy, Green Arrow is a
God.
superhero who wears his liberalism on his sleeve.
Oh,
There's not been enough of that. There's not been nearly enough of comic book characters being used as mouthpieces for insane activists.
No.
Ollie's political views have become as integral to him as his bow and quiver. His transformation from spoiled rich kid into social justice warrior makes him unique among his peers.
Does it? Does it really?
Yeah, it says it right there. On the
Yeah.
screen.
Understanding Green Arrow's politics is essential to understanding who he is as a person.
oh God. Sorry. There's a female version of this person who is ugly as fuck. So
Yeah. That's not a good thing though, author. It's not a good thing that his entire identity revolves around his politics. That's a bad thing. Means that you're basically a hollow shell of a human being.
How are they meant to propagandize if they don't do that though, Jack?
Yeah, how do you propagandize your audience if you don't make all your characters totally one-dimensional?
Exactly.
Well, I did find a picture of this guy from his Medium page. You might have to magnify it a little bit, but this guy's got your stereotypical douchebag in a sweater, kind of look.
Yeah.
Link is in
Let's
chat.
see. From Batman ripoff to left-wing advocate. In 1941, Oliver Queen debuted as a poor imitation of Batman. Both characters had similar stories of coming from rich families and using their wealth for crime fighting. Anyone remember the Arrow car in Arrow Cave? The less said, the better.
Okay, wait, hold up. First of all, Arrow was actually a good show until it got really fucking PC. Like the first maybe 1 or 2 seasons was actually really good, but then it got shitty from there. If this is talking about the TV show, then yeah, the first show was okay, but after that it was fucked up. So never mind.
I thought that his general attitudes haven't changed since the beginning.
Yeah.
Now I'm being told that they have changed.
The answer to both is yes. The idea that Ollie was modeled on showed potential. Queen based himself on Robin Hood, a man who supposedly stole from the rich and gave to the poor. This image juxtaposed sharply with Ollie's privileged upbringing. In 1969, Neil Adams and Dennis O'Neil unlocked the character's true potential by having him lose his fortune. By losing his money, Ollie had to learn to survive by his wits and build himself up from nothing.
No, that's completely fucking wrong. That is not the way that his story goes. He was no fucking Robin Hood mentality. That's bullshit. This guy hasn't even Okay, never mind.
No. It makes sense. Look, if he was poor after he lost his money, robbing from the rich and keeping it is technically giving to the poor.
He
That's
lost
true.
his money because his company his family-owned business was bought out by somebody else.
Elon Musk.
And also but I hate this comparison because this is something I've seen in the past is a comparison between Robin Hood and like the socialist mentality. Because I know that's where this is going, robbing the rich and give to the poor. They think that Robin Hood is a socialist. Pardon me, but the rich people in this case stole money from the poor.
Look, your hate facts have no place for these Medium articles.
Didn't he steal from tax collectors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stole from the Fed.
Well, yeah, because the King James was trying to get enough money to pay the ransom for Richard the Lionheart, and he was overtaxing everyone to the point where they were, all starving to death, and he was just seizing people's property if they couldn't pay. That's why Robin Hood was such a hero.
Yeah.
If anything, he's more comparable to a libertarian.
Yeah. Let's see. He also grew a Van Dyke goatee, an image that has long been associated with counterculture movements.
That's
Is he allowed to say Dyke?
That is a big stretch.
It's a bit of a stretch to say a beard style is associated with a political movement. I don't think.
Well, yes, but we're also talking about a political movement that has the depth of a dry puddle. So beard style is probably giving them too much credit.
In the process, Green Arrow became a left-wing advocate and a mouthpiece for the underprivileged. Green Arrow's political views were at the century, because they spell center the wrong way, of the series he shared with Green Lantern in the 1970s. Adams and O'Neil compared Ollie's social street justice mentality with Hal's conservative approach to law and order. Green Lantern took on the universe-ending threats, while Green Arrow represented the everyday problems that people faced. During the series, I'd say Green Arrow embodied classical liberalism, in the sense that freedom is important and responsibility is shared by everyone. All he wanted Hal to see.
Is that what classical liberalism says?
Yes.
That responsibility is shared by everyone?
Well, if you look at the screen, Jack, it's there in black and white.
Man. All he wanted Hal to see the need to address the smaller issues of starving children and small-time crooks. He managed to get his friend to look beyond the authoritarian perspective of the Green Lantern Corps.
Wait. I thought that the whole point was that he was being compared to Robin Hood. Robin Hood didn't deal with small-time crooks.
Yeah, I mean, he was a small-time crook.
Yeah. So where the fuck did they get off comparing him to Robin Hood? None of this makes sense. The author has made two very major contradictions so far.
Like, he's not smart. Just accept it.
And there's plenty more contradictions to come. Stay tuned.
Comics are hard, okay?
Intelligence is hard.
Over the years, Green Arrow has been labeled as a commie and a Marxist, particularly in Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. This was brought up by Peter Sanderson in an interview with IGN. And here's a quote from the interview. Miller uses the bearded, politicized version of Green Arrow as Denny O'Neil, and Neil Adams reworked the character at the time of transition from the Silver Age to whatever we may call the period that followed.
Hey, first of all, they misspelled politicized, so there you go.
I think the author's British, so they spell a lot of words wrong.
I was waiting for Terry to say no, it's spelled correctly.
Yeah, it is. It's spelled perfectly fine.
No. Let's see. O'Neil and Adams made Green Arrow into a 1960s liberal activist. In DK2, Miller pushes...
That would be Donkey Kong 2, which is actually the best in the series.
In Donkey Kong 2, Diddy's Conquest, Miller pushes Green Arrow to a leftist extreme, making him a communist. Well, Green Arrow was supposed to be a modern-day Robin Hood, so that arguably would make him interested in the redistribution of wealth.
Called it.
This guy's dumb.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that you haven't said more, Jack.
He writes opinion. There's a limit to how smart he can be.
That is so sadly true, isn't it?
It should be noted that this was an alternative version of Green Arrow. At his core, Ollie's political motivation has come from a place of wanting to make a difference for people who cannot help themselves. Green Arrow's political views make him unique because he's one of the few superheroes to stand by them in the face of unpopular choices.
Oh yeah, there aren't nearly enough progressive superheroes out there. That's what we needed more of, more progressive superheroes.
Yes, absolutely. We need more social democrats, too.
Yeah, there's not enough politically charged superheroes, so we need to get more of them, and we should make Green Arrow gay, too, just because.
Sorry.
No, they are making him gay. My fault. No, they're making him asexual because they killed Oliver Queen off in the comics in Justice League 75, along with the rest of the Justice League, and they're replacing him with Connor Hawke, who's asexual.
You guys, I have a brilliant idea. Let's take all the comic books and replace literally all of them with Barack Obama. Every single character.
He's not gay enough. I'm sorry. No, we need a
homosexual Barack Obama.
No.
Also, he's in a wheelchair.
If you've seen Michelle Obama, I'm not convinced that he's not gay.
Yeah, that's true.
Fair point.
So all characters are Barack Obama now. If two characters interact, it's just one Obama talking to another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That will solve all the world's problems.
Yeah, it's the meme of him giving himself a medal. Yeah.
Exactly.
This set him apart from Bruce Wayne, who is a representation of the capitalist system.
Oh, the bastard.
God forbid.
Ollie has criticized and opposed the people who are cut from the same cloth as himself, knowing that he will face disapproval. A brilliant story that focuses on Green Arrow's radicalism is Judd Winnick's Crawling Through the Wreckage. In the story,
And,
Star City.
and now I'm writing on my list of things to never read ever.
In the story, Star City has been devastated in the wake of Infinity Crisis, and Ollie has taken it upon himself to become the mayor. I thought he was anti-authoritarian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ollie views it as
I thought he didn't like the government. What? Why? How?
Ollie views it as the position of the man that he's been fighting against for years, but he takes the job to effect positive change.
And then
There's
he realizes that the inherent power that comes with that position corrupts his morality, and then he gives it up forever. And because he realizes that the government is just shit.
You're funny.
There's always much talk about rabble-rousers among dissenters, among those who choose to swim against the tide. The talk of the man, sticking it to the man. The man holds us back. Depending on the context, the man can be anything from the status quo to a high school principal. But in general, the man is the establishment, the law, and those who enforce it, or make it. So what becomes of the rabble-rouser, the troublemaker, the rebel when he becomes the man?
Sex change, obviously.
He does an amazing job, and everybody is happy now all of a sudden.
And they all clapped.
As mayor, Ollie chooses to legalize gay marriage, which ruffles the feathers of the old money conservatives who built their fortune in Star City. During the night, he patrols the slums in costume and is even willing to team up with the villain Brick. To protect the impoverished. Jack, who's Brick?
Some fifth tier nobody character. He's just a generic bad guy. Like, here, go fight him. You know, like Arcade with the X-Men.
Yeah. This is an example of Green Arrow's flexibility when it comes to promoting social reform. He willingly overlooks Brick's prior convictions and works with him temporarily to make a difference.
There are a lot of reformed villains in comics.
No,
this is not new.
This is actually consistent because leftists really have no consistency or values. If you're helpful to me right now, then yeah, you're awesome. The second you're no longer helpful to me, you're an evil bastard and need to be stopped. So that's pretty accurate.
And what's more,
That's
it's
true.
consistent with leftists' capacity to constantly listen to whatever criminals say.
In this sense, Green Arrow has embodied principles of Stoicism, which teach active participation in the world, especially in relation to politics. Many of the Roman Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, came from privileged backgrounds, and they used their platforms to take a stance in the politics of Roman society.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts so bad. The Stoics of that era would not recognize the modern progressive movement, which is purely based off of raw emotion. Everything they do is based off of raw emotion. There is no logic. There is no cool. They have zero cool. Stoics would think that these people were nuts. They're the exact opposite of Stoics.
They are nuts, so the Stoics would be correct.
They are philosophically exactly the opposite.
Queen could also be compared to the Stoic radical Thracia, who vehemently opposed the regime of the Emperor Nero. While their political perspectives may have differed, Green Arrow and Thracia shared a similar goal of opposing corruption and embraced their philosophy to fight for what they believed in.
Right.
What makes Green Arrow interesting is the dichotomy between his identities. Oliver Queen is meant to represent the capitalist agenda of big money, expansion, and wealth. Green Arrow is a symbol of activism, freedom, and anti-authoritarianism. The two personalities combine to create a character with many contradictions, and it's so damn entertaining.
Just like this article.
Definitely.
Green Arrow's political perspective makes him one of the bravest superheroes around. He's
and also
willing...
stunning. Do not forget the stunning part.
Yes.
Did you know that he went on stage during the Oscars and denounced Donald Trump in front of everyone?
Awesome. He's a real hero now.
Stunning and brave.
He's willing to stand up for what he believes in and sacrifice himself to protect the innocent. His status as the political conscience of the DC universe is undisputed.
I
Sure,
wonder
let's
how
go with
many
that story.
progressives out there would sacrifice themselves for their beliefs? Because last I checked, they have zero consistency and will change on a dime for personal convenience.
You must be thinking of something else. The liberals, the leftists I've seen, nothing but consistency. Take Vosh, for instance.
Yeah.
Oh yes, my principle is to win, Vosh.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've finished the first article, it's time for the first game.
The best game ever.
Second best. Oh, actually third best because there is Super Seducer.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And that is Sad Libs,
The best game ever.
where I'll take 4 headlines from Medium, take out one word, and you guys have to fill in that one word Mad Libs style. And then the chat will vote on which one is best.
Okay,
And
I
I
want to
ev-
hear this.
And I even did Jack a little favor.
Thank you, Jack.
Just for the 300 sub episode, you bastard.
Yay!
Alright, so give me one.
Oh no, I couldn't do that. Come back to me.
Alright, Moon, I need a transitive verb.
How about rim jobbing?
Can
No,
rim
would that
job
not
be a
work?
verb?
Well, rim jobbing is a transitive verb.
I don't think the ing matters.
Fine,
Maybe,
then come back to me. I'll find a better one.
maybe go with blow because then you can like blow someone, or lick because you can lick
Okay,
another.
fine. Okay, fine. Go ahead, Jack. If you got yours, say it.
Frosted, I'm gonna go with monkey.
Didn't you do monkey last week?
Did I do monkey last week? Oh shit.
I think you were
fine,
sucking
then
up
come
to-
back to me again.
I think you were sucking
Alright.
up to ranking monkey.
Rimming. How about rimming? Evolved Potato says the verb is rimming.
Alright. Well, it doesn't have to end in ing, so I'll
Okay.
just put rim.
Okay.
Jeez.
I got it, Frosted. Sow.
What?
SOW.
Sow.
Oh, like a pig?
Yes. But specifically, sow.
Alright. Terry, I need a verb ending in ing.
I'll go ruining.
Alright. And Jack, I need a noun.
Thunder cunt.
He wins. So does that means that it's so empty and hollow that it claps like thunder whenever the thighs get slapped together?
Well, like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Alright, so Jack Gunsky's is... I'm afraid to tell my mother her sow makes sexual advances at me.
Oh, nasty.
It would have been funnier if he called the mother a sow,
It would have.
but we can't have everything.
Alright, and Moons...
These are sad lips.
How to rim a vicious dog in less than 10 minutes.
There you go.
No wonder it's vicious.
Alright. Terry's... How can you blame black people for ruining?
It's almost like you're missing the end part of the sentence. Ruining
Yeah.
what?
Alright, and Jack Cochran's... The mysterious and strange thunder cunt which wiped out 15 million Aztecs.
I've solved the mystery.
Yep, he wins.
No, I think Moonshock's is the best.
How to rim
Yeah.
a vicious dog.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Moonshock's wins. Terry's is kind of like it's awkward in a funny way.
Well, mine, I think if I had like more context for the type of verb, I wouldn't have gone with a word that
Yeah.
like ruining. But I mean, I don't think I would have had any chance of beating Moonshock. So it's
And for the
Academic.
record, mine was not suggested by Cenk Uygur.
All right. And I started a poll in chat so they can decide which one is best.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to vote for Moon on this one.
Go on, bud.
She did both.
Excellent.
I mean, Jax is kind of interesting because it makes Thunder Cunt sound like an ancient god of a sort.
Yeah, it's like a thunderbird, but without looking like a bird and more like a giant vagina from outer space.
A space,
But
a space pussy?
Yeah.
Personally, I like it. I like it when these things go for like it's not trying too hard.
Ooh.
I like it when you do more with less.
Yeah,
Jack's
Moon,
getting that Democrat shove at the end.
yeah, Moon and Jack are neck and neck.
Me, really?
Well, no, the other one.
Oh,
You're not Jackie. I like boobs. Remember?
Well, I'm listed in the poll as Jack Moon.
Okay. How many? Shut up. How many of these ballots were cast after a certain time at night? I think
Yeah.
that Mr. C is gonna win.
I'm surprised I got any. I've got 7%, and like
I
there's
think I
better
got
options
one.
available.
Well, if you look at it on the screen, it looks like you're blaming black people for ruining blackness because the background there looks like it's hiding another word.
He's ruining.
Yeah,
All right. Well, I'll call it there. And Jack Cochran wins with 54% of the vote.
Woo! Yay me!
And we didn't even find any trucks full of ballots.
Yeah,
Lies.
you won't. That's the point.
Lies.
Thank you, Moon. Even though I liked yours, thought that one was better. Thank you, everybody, for voting.
Mhm.
Rig?
I-
No, you have no evidence of that. And if you question it, you'll be booted off YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that the purpose of this contest is to tell the audience that they're wrong.
So what you're telling me is that this was the most secure election ever, or secure
Obviously.
vote ever?
Obviously.
Jack
And-
is the most popular candidate in corner history.
Exactly. And if you question it, you're obviously working for Putin.
Over
Mm.
80 million people voted for you, didn't you know?
Yeah, there's no conceivable, believable evidence otherwise. I said so. That makes it true.
Yes,
That's right.
and an unbelievably record high number of votes turned out for you, and
Yeah.
in total.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of work getting those vans around at the last minute. I mean, everything is above board. Just
You
ask-
turned those cameras off at the drop boxes, didn't you?
you know, you have no evidence for that.
God
They were
damn
sad. What can I say?
it.
They
And
got
if you do,
depressed and shut
and
themselves
if you
off.
do have evidence, then get your affairs in order.
Yeah, yeah, because they were sad cameras that needed obviously routinely scheduled maintenance at midnight, and nobody else can question that, because if they do, then well,
You
get
walk into the
roasted.
room and the cameras are hanging from nooses.
shot twice in the back of the head.
Why do I see the meme of on one side there's the Freedom of Information Act, and on the other side it's King Theoden. He's like, "You have no power here." Fine, that was a
Sorry.
dumb joke. I don't care.
Uh,
Fuck all you.
nerd.
He wins. Oh,
Let
All right.
nobody talk until Moonshock learns his lesson.
All right, and now it's time for our second article. The unavoidable violence of banning abortion.
They're talking about Antifa and spontaneous combustion.
who is this fucker? Jude Ellison S. Long enough fucking name.
I said in the chat last week when Monkey was on about he was talking about the court decision, and I was running my mouth about how great the court decision was, and I was like, Monkey is inches away from telling me to fuck off because I obviously haven't read the thing.
Oh, look, it's a.
But I just like the unavoidable violence of not letting people kill babies.
Yep. Despite efforts to paint peaceful protesters as a threat, the real violence is coming from those who want to force birth.
Oh, you guys are gonna love this. Just give me a moment.
Wait, before you start, Frosted, anybody want to take a bet on how long it takes to mention The Handmaid's Tale?
Oh God! Like second paragraph.
Yeah, I know. Are we gonna make it through one paragraph then here?
I'm going for 4.
Well, here, let me at least make your guys' night and show you what this fucking woman looks like.
Can someone explain to me how abortion is healthcare for 99% of the cases who choose to get it voluntarily?
Her picture is in chat.
No, because pregnancy is a sexually transmitted disease, and
She
so
looks
they're
exactly
treating the illness.
She looks what?
She looks exactly like I expected. Like
Yeah.
like a slightly effeminate woman.
It's
You're welcome.
it's like if you combine Sinead O'Connor with the nerdy kid from the Wonder Years.
And if you look closely, look where her shirt is. There's armpit hair there.
Yeah, I'd go Sinead O'Connor meets Pee Wee Herman.
I gotta refresh my page. It's not
I'd
loading.
go like if you took Screech and shaved his head.
Oh God,
There it is.
honey, you need to shave your freaking armpits, honey. Ooh.
All right. So, in The Handmaid's Tale, okay, no. Giving birth is violent. I can't believe I have to say that in this century, but I do. Pregnancy is a 9-month-long gauntlet in which the human body is pushed to and beyond its limits. And if anything at all...
Keep going.
And if anything at all goes wrong, preeclampsia, a badly located placenta, an ectopic pregnancy, a blood clot, all of these can be lethal. And this list
You
is in
shouldn't have
no
gotten
way...
vaccinated if you didn't want a blood clot.
Yeah.
Now, what is their definition of violence? Because it changes every 5 seconds with these people. It changes every 5 seconds. They have no idea what the fuck
That is
they're
not
talking
true, Jack.
about.
Their definition of violence is disagreeing with them on anything.
Yeah. Literally everything is violence to these people. It's ridiculous.
If you like a different movie than they do, that is violence.
Well, and she's also mentioning these little disorders here, like they happen all the time. I mean, what's the rarity of these things actually occurring?
We'll get to that.
we live in an age where infant mortality is at an all-time low. It has never been this low in history. It has never been safer to have a child in history than the current day.
I forget the exact numbers, but it's something like much less than 1% of abortions are to save the life of the mother. It's like drastically low.
Yes, it is phenomenally low.
It's like
most of the fringe cases that they talk about where other people would probably agree, yeah, it's probably okay to have an abortion in that case, are less than 1%.
From memory, it was 6% say they're aborting because they can't afford a baby, and 92% are aborting out of convenience, which means 98% are aborting out of convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's absolutely horrifying because these people, I mean, look, I am open to both sides of the debate, except that the fact that right now one side of the debate is just, they're not talking logically. They're talking like irrational, insane people. And I'm just like, I don't want to listen to you. I am much more predisposed to listen to the side that's talking sanity.
I was a lot more sympathetic towards abortion when it was being treated as like a serious thing.
Yes.
But nowadays, they're like, if you want to kill a baby, have fun. Kill a baby. It's your body. you can kill any babies growing within it. It's like that's not the attitude that you should have. It should be, we've exhausted all other alternatives. Unfortunately, this is the least horrible thing available to us. We have to, unfortunately, abort this child. Not just, fuck it.
And the current attitude is to treat it like to treat the unborn baby like it's not even a thing.
Yeah.
Like it practically doesn't exist at all. It's just this mild inconvenience that we need to get rid of.
It's a clump of cells.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's my position on the whole thing. You have a single cell. It starts as a single cell, a zygote combination of a male sperm, female egg. And there are people who are like, well, we can't abort that. And I'm like, come on, you're being a little ridiculous here. It's one cell. It isn't anything right now.
I don't know how it identifies.
And then you have at 9 months, baby's just about to emerge from the womb. That's a baby. I don't care if it's 5 seconds or 5 seconds or 10 seconds. For all practical purposes, it is a baby. You're not going to convince me otherwise. And so you're killing that. You are killing a baby. Yeah. So to me, I think of the problem as more of a sliding scale kind of issue.
Hey man, every egg that gets fertilized was sexually assaulted. Okay, that's rape right there, right? On a microscopic scale.
My basic thing is, I don't know what point of the pregnancy it is, but whenever the baby develops the ability to feel pain, I don't think you should abort it past that point.
Yeah, and I think that there is a point, and I think that it would be very difficult to identify that point. But I do think that it's there, and I think that there are people on both parts of the issue where they're being a little bit too over the top about their particular end of the scale, and it's kind of just no. I can't be dealing with, and right now it is. The progressive side in particular is just getting really abysmal. They're being really ghoulish. That's the best way I can describe. I mean, at least with the zygote people, if you want to look at it as a baby, I think that you're a little bit silly. If you are talking about a fully developed baby that's about to emerge from the womb and you're talking about killing it, I think that is downright ghoulish.
That's murder.
Well, I think if the baby, even if the baby hasn't developed the capacity to feel pain, I still think it should be a last resort. I don't think you should be like, oh, good, we can kill it quickly. It should be, we've exhausted all other options. Unfortunately, we have to abort this child. Not, oh, good, we can kill. If we kill it quick, it's legal. Like that's a ridiculous standard. But yeah, if once it can feel pain, however that is determined, abortion should be off the table entirely, in my mind.
Yeah.
What? Okay, then here's a question I do have. What if, and I do believe the technology does exist, what if, I mean, the the kid's far enough along so that he has all the above, like you feel pain, heartbeat, etc. What if it was detected that this kid would have a degenerative disease later in life or has a congenital issue that would cause it all sorts of complications in life? Would you endorse abortion in that case?
No, I mean, you don't get to kill living people who have horrible afflictions.
I know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate or anything. I just want to.
If someone is in a car accident and becomes a quadriplegic, you don't go, oh well, guess we can kill this guy now.
Or if you knew that it was a Downs baby, would you be like, oh, I don't want to? Would you want to be able to play God in that case?
It's tragic that children are born with birth defects. I don't think that gives you a right to kill them.
Yeah, it's like going up to one of them and saying, like, wouldn't you rather be dead right now?
Exactly.
Well, if I was a quadriplegic, probably.
Yeah. I think that some people look at this from the other perspective of quality of life. Well, they're going to be living a life of hell. Why should I even bother to keep or you'll give this kid life? You're looking at it from the wrong perspective, I think. Not you. I'm talking about those people in that case.
Yeah.
Only if there's a way to test from inside the womb whether the baby will think that The Last Jedi was good.
No, I've got a more
Ooh.
important test. If you can determine with certainty that the baby will think cereal is soup, then okay, you can change my mind.
Okay, I have it frosted. Okay, I have the perfect test. Depending on whether or not the baby turns his head left or right when you whisper into the womb, the name Rey Skywalker. You say Rey Skywalker. If the baby turns his head left, he's fine. But if he turns his head right, he must go.
Will this baby like
Instant
Tron Legacy?
death.
Tron Legacy is the best movie. That baby better like that goddamn movie, or else.
No, but not all babies are born gay, Moonshock.
Yeah.
That hurts, Terry.
It was
Not
meant
really,
to.
but
Moon wants all babies to be born gay.
All
the record,
babies
I-
must be gay by decree of Moonshock.
For the record, I am heterosexual. I just act gay on TV. There you go.
You have a wife. You
Yes,
have
and
a
she's
wife.
listening
That's-
right now.
That is evidence, but you're also incredibly gay. You are one of the gayest people on the planet.
One of the gayest straight people. Is that what you're saying?
There's a reason you've got the nickname Faggotron.
It's not that everybody thinks you're gay. It's just we all suspect strongly.
I thought it was
Yeah.
fag fucker.
No, you want fag fucker. We decided. We all talked Faggotron.
I'm pretty sure it's not gay if the balls don't touch. That's what I've been told by gays.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, all of these can be lethal, and this list is in no way complete. The pregnant person may die.
The pregnant person.
Yeah, I know. I like
how
that.
often does that happen?
At the end of the pregnancy, assuming all goes well, a living human being is ripped out of the pregnant person's abdomen, either by a surgeon or through more natural means. This
What do
again,
you think happens? Wait, hold on. What do you think happens if you abort the baby right
Vacuum
before it's
cleaner.
about to be born?
Vacuum
do you think
cleaner.
that it? Yeah. Do
much,
you think
much
it's
more gentle to the vagina.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it's removed by magic?
Yes.
I mean, they're probably all Harry Potter fans.
That's true.
Yeah, emptius wommus.
This again is very painful. This again carries a significant risk of death. The maternal mortality rate
Like
in the
this
United
article.
The maternal mortality rate in the United States is more than double that of most other high-income countries.
In
It
other
gets-
words, it's like 0.4% instead of 0.2%.
It gets significantly higher every year. In 2018, there were 17.4 parental deaths per every 100,000 live births. In 2020, there were 23.8. And
17 per 100,000.
I went ahead and did the math, and even with the 23.8, that is a 0.02% chance.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's that high? We should panic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a better chance of dying if you just live in Chicago.
Well, that's a given.
I mean, that's like 50-50.
Yeah.
The casualties are disproportionately black women.
That's okay then.
Giving birth is violent. Pregnancy is violent. Childbirth and pregnancy can be used, and are already being used, to punish and kill the people that a white supremacist patriarchy has the least use for.
You know, I have a feeling that when she wrote this, she probably sounded exactly like you, when she's like, "Grrr." She's pressing that pen
Women
down
most
so
affected.
fucking hard, she's tearing right through the goddamn paper.
I do like basically pregnancy is violence.
Yeah,
Like-
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
No, pregnancy is violence and rape.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Because violence is perpetrated by someone else. That, like, by definition. So who is who is causing the violence in this?
Men.
It's a baby.
Is it the baby or is
Yes.
it the man who impregnated her?
Yes,
Both.
both. Well, especially if it's a male baby.
Yeah.
So basically the continuation of the species is violence perpetrated by men unto women.
Correct.
Yes. If we cared about women, we would let the human race die out.
Well, I've found the solution to the straight white male problem: abort all male babies.
Oh no, there's lots of people on Twitter who've said things like, "I'm either having a girl or an abortion." Like that's a real thing.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, then.
another thing that they totally seem to forget is that abortions affect women too, especially
good way.
unborn women.
No. It
those are
affects them in a
cells.
good way.
Let's see. All this is true even if your pregnancy is wanted and consensual. If you do not consent to be pregnant, then these experiences are so violent that the UN has classified forced pregnancy and birth as a form of torture.
And how often does this happen?
Well,
Like all the
never,
time. Like you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a woman who's being tortured with pregnancy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
True. That's true. And the UN, they know all about suffering of women because they usually cause it.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking, even if it wasn't just the people who represented the suffering of women, I wouldn't be surprised if most of the UN specifically caused some of that suffering to women.
All right, now we've been kind of hyperbolic so far. So let's get more logical in this next part.
Mm.
I want
Just
us
now?
all I want us all to be exceptionally clear on the facts here. By overturning Roe v. Wade, Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito and every justice who voted with him, namely Amy Coney Barrett, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Clarence Thomas, formally gave sanction to the torture and death of millions of people.
I knew there was a reason I liked
No.
those guys.
No, they actually came into a consensus and decided that this is not something that the Constitution included. They had nothing to do with, oh my God, you know what? Let's go and torture and kill millions of people.
I love the fact that they're acting as if this bans abortion. It's like, no, just go to a
No.
different state where they
Yes.
cool
They're
with baby
effectively
killing.
turning it over to the states in the end.
Oh, the states. Oh,
Oh,
you mean
I know.
Republican governors?
God,
Oh, fucking monsters.
I
Or
know.
worse.
Yeah, God forbid, not everybody do exactly the same thing. God forbid somebody have an idea of their own and don't conform to my way of thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those sons
Defensive
of
violence
bitches.
crap.
Those damn Republican governors who I'm sure were voted for only by men.
Mhm.
White
Yeah,
men.
it was 51% men, 49% women.
Poor
With this
women.
in mind, and only with this in mind, we can discuss the question of whether it's violent for abortion rights protesters to hold vigils outside their homes. The
Not
answer,
violent, but it's probably illegal.
it is illegal. The answer,
bet.
in a word, no. You might throw in an "Are you fucking kidding me?" if you have time, but no will do. In the weeks since political,
It depends what they're doing outside the people's houses, whether it's violence or not. Like if they're legitimately just peaceful protesting, it's not violence. Really, it is and should be illegal, but I wouldn't call it violence if they're legitimately peaceful. But they're leftists, so I doubt it.
yeah,
Well, have they found the person who leaked this crap yet?
not that
No,
I know of.
mysteriously.
Uh-huh.
In the weeks since Politico first leaked Alito's draft opinion overturning Roe, there's been a justified outpouring of rage and sorrow from people who can get pregnant.
Again, people who can get pregnant.
Yeah.
There used to be a word for that.
And
Those are called women.
nobody knows who these people are.
It's a mystery. You could just be some dude banging another dude, and suddenly there's a baby.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
weird
just
how
I'm
that-
just waiting. I'm just waiting for this to devolve into persons with wombs.
Persons with wombs.
Well, that could be men too, because that one doctor is trying to put artificial wombs in.
There's also been an equally disingenuous attempt to monster those people. Monster is a verb?
It
Or
is
to-
actually. Yeah.
Or to paint them as a violent threat to democracy. Protesting outside home with placards and chants, as protesters did for Brett Kavanaugh and planned to do for Alito, is proto-violence, an implicit threat, and uncivil. Alito reportedly had to move to an undisclosed location to shield himself from the threat of a bunch of college students being sad on his sidewalk.
He's over at Clarence Thomas's house playing cards.
Well, yeah, nobody from nobody on the left ever did anything wrong. Nobody
Nope.
ever
Never.
got violent.
They're good
Ever.
boys to do nothing. What are you talking about?
Meanwhile, the right has a protest with 5 people and everybody freaks out.
Everybody loses their minds. So yeah, it shows a few tweets saying don't protest at the justices' houses.
That's true. Don't do that.
The Supreme Court, which supposedly serves the people. No, it's just meant to uphold the Constitution. Has been gated and inaccessible to those people since the ruling leaked. In the most ludicrous turn of events, an anti-abortion group in Wisconsin claimed to have been targeted with Molotov cocktails. The pro-choice...
That's a provable fact.
Yeah, just say it's like someone saying allegedly in an attempt to discredit things. Sorry, just because you don't want it to have happened doesn't mean it didn't.
No, but the good thing about allegedly is it's automatically true because by saying it, you're alleging the fact.
The pro-choice terrorists in question left threatening graffiti on their building in the form of a full grammatically correct sentence written in distinctive and legible cursive with punctuation. It's
that
not
doesn't stop it from being threatening. Like you can write a threat very nicely with very nice language, and it can still be a threat.
Did you guys, speaking of which, did you guys read the note that was sent afterward claiming responsibility for it?
Oh, don't worry,
No.
we'll get to that.
Oh, okay, good.
It's not impossible, but it's a bold move for anyone worried about getting caught.
But they're not worried about getting caught.
They're not worried about getting caught because A, they're psychopaths because they're a bunch of fucking leftists, and B, even if they weren't psychopaths, they wouldn't be afraid because they have the right politics and are going to get away with it.
Yeah. Here's the graffiti. If abortions aren't safe, then you aren't either.
That's
not violent, is it? Come on.
That is unambiguously a threat. Like,
And
just
what's
because it's
more-
written neatly.
Yeah, and what's more, I would take the written neatly part as further evidence that it's legitimate, only because it looks like it looks like a tattoo you would find on a white girl's arm.
And
Just like, have that written below a John Green quote.
Mhm.
the agenda behind all of this is clear. By making protesters look scary and violent, anti-abortion forces aim to shift the burden of guilt to the wronged party and obfuscate where the real violence is coming from. Again, these are people who wish to legalize and inflict torture on slightly over half of the United States population. They want to force millions of human bodies to go through a process that has a significant and increasing death rate.
You ever notice that?
You might get to 0.3%.
Yeah, increasing. Do they not know that before antibiotics, women died in childbirth all the time?
No,
Yeah,
Terry,
you ever-
not 0.3%, 0.03%.
That's what yes. Good. Thank you.
You ever notice that every piece of evidence that the left is violent is evidence that the right is really the violent ones?
They want to do this, as per Alito's opinion, to increase the domestic supply of infants, in essence turning poor, marginalized, and young people into an unpaid labor force who take on the risk and expense of childbirth, with those babies likely being funneled to well-off white Christians through the booming evangelical adoption industry.
What now? I would like to see some statistics on that because I'm not buying that for a fucking second.
Obviously, they're building a white Christian army, Jack.
Just remember,
obviously.
we're the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
Just remember, we are the This right here about building an army out of orphaned children doesn't exist. It's not a conspiracy. It's all totally
It's not a
legit.
conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy fact. This is definitely happening. And Susan, if you're listening, I accept that this is true and terrible.
Yeah, and if you go to one of these adoption industries, it's like the Camino cloning facility in episode 2.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of black chicks up there in stirrups squirting babies out.
Oh, do you remember
Totally how this works.
Do you remember Balloon Land, the animated short, where like the trees squirting out the blob of plastic to make the balloons out of? That's what it'll be like. It'll just be. Boop, boop.
Well, no. What happens is what happens is the people are squirting out the black babies, and then the black babies, they move on a conveyor belt into a machine that turns them into white babies with blue eyes and blonde hair.
Oh,
Yeah, they all get that Michael Jackson disease.
It'll be like the beginning of You Can't Do That on Television, where the kids are being constructed on the conveyor belt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a conveyor belt going through a melanin remover.
And then
Which,
they're
as we
handed
know,
a Bible.
Which, as we know, also removes empathy, because melanin is the source of empathy, I heard.
Yeah, it's what gives them soul and their magical space plant powers.
Man, they're given a Bible they're given a Bible and a MAGA hat.
Yeah, bastards.
And a gun.
And a noose.
It is customary for the anti-abortion movement to appoint mawkish and sentimental pundits from Phyllis Schlafly to Elizabeth Brunig to say that they simply want to protect the little babes and spread the joy of motherhood to everyone. But be very clear on this case. These people don't want to help you. They want to hurt you, and in some cases kill you.
Oh my God. The irony there of they want to kill you with instead of the baby.
But then sorry.
Yeah, that's how the pro-life people work. They kill the pregnant mother to save the baby.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
That's always been the plan.
Yeah.
But this is how you know that you're talking to someone who's a real piece of shit, is because this person has no idea what principles are. And what they'll do is, because they don't know what principles are, they will project their own terrible motivations onto everybody else around them.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody sounds like they're doing something that's legitimately good, or they're speaking from their heart, they will automatically superimpose the most horrible motivations they can think of onto those people, because they are incapable of doing otherwise. They don't understand a principled stance.
They will lie in order to do that, but the facts are plain. There have been 186 arsons and 42 bombings of abortion clinics since 1977. At least 11 people have been killed in attacks on abortion clinics since 1993.
Okay, but how many people have been killed in the abortion clinics by the actual procedures being done there?
We don't count that. See, it's not murder if it's done with a coat hanger. I'm pretty sure that's a law somewhere.
Yeah.
Good point.
Dr. Barnett Slepian was shot in the heart through his kitchen window as he cooked soup for his family. Dr.
I bet
George
they love a bad name too.
Was the soup made of babies? Or was he like, I made some cell soup today, kids? Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It didn't have enough salt, so one of his kids pulled out a gun and shot his ass.
Dr. George Tiller was shot in the head as he sat down in church.
Well, his head just got in the way of the bullet.
In this whole long, gory history, violence has almost never come from those who want to protect and defend abortion. It has always come from those who want to take abortion access away.
So all the people that killed these abortionists, that none of them ever went to jail, is what I'm hearing.
Of course not.
No. They were given medals.
Oh.
Well, what I want to know is who would the pro-abortion people kill? I mean,
Yeah,
right now, the obvious target would be the Supreme Court justices. But in the past, they had what they wanted. Why would they go around trying to kill people? Who would they kill?
They just kill out of celebration.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
doesn't. It doesn't make sense because you're arguing that there's a dichotomy here where there isn't one.
Yeah, they're way behind in the scoring if they're going for the, keeping score on sides. So either the abortion killers need to step up their game, but they'd be able to save a lot of abortion doctors' lives by ending abortion entirely.
Yeah.
We have to do it for the doctors. Won't someone think of the doctors?
Nah.
The people breaking laws to defend abortion aren't violently attacking politicians. They're figuring out how to get pregnant people to abortion clinics despite travel bans. They're distributing birth control and emergency contraception that may soon be outlawed.
Oh yeah, I definitely see that happening. That's guaranteed.
They're too busy saving lives to threaten any. As for the rest of us...
Right now, these people, they're playing the, what do you call it? The slippery slope game, except the fact that we don't see the slippery slope coming from the other side. We only see it coming from the left.
As for the rest of us, the people protesting Alito and Kavanaugh and Thomas and Barrett, anyone else who stands in support of this objectively monstrous decision, what they are asking for is, very simply, not to be hurt, tortured, or killed in the service of anyone else's infant supply or irrelevant religious convictions.
Oh, man.
Objectively monstrous. Do you think if we went through this person's social media, we would find out that they supported child transitioning?
Yes.
I'm sure that they would be an absolutely lovely person on social media.
I mean, they've made themselves seem so kind and loving just in this article.
It's true.
Yeah.
They have a lot of empathy for the other side.
Yeah. The two best things you can do for a child are either kill it in the womb or chop off its penis.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a given, right? That's how all of this works.
Yeah.
Common sense, really.
They're calling not for violence, but for the end of violence. They are asking for the one thing anti-abortion protesters have always said they wanted, the right to live.
What?
Oh, and wait, there's an update at the end of this article.
Ooh,
Update.
this will be good.
A group calling themselves Jane's Revenge has taken responsibility for the clinic vandalism in Wisconsin. In their statement, which you can read here with a link to download the full text, they claim to be defending the right to abortion.
Yeah, I like how they put that at the end instead of
Yeah.
somewhere near where they said that. Oh, they staged this. They totally made it up.
Well,
The
no,
dishonesty is unbearable.
Yeah, what I'm wondering is, does the author agree with them? Are you willing to, now that you know the violence is real, are you willing to disavow the violence, author?
Ha! You're funny.
Oh, and I did want to I did want to thank Retro V Gamer for his donation for the Doggo Fund. Thank you.
But just remember, the violence only ever comes from the right.
Well, of course.
So
That's absolutely true.
let's take a look at the note that these people left after the firebombing. This is not a declaration of war. War has been upon us for decades. A war which we did not want and did not provoke. Too long have we been attacked for asking for basic medical care. Too long have we been shot, bombed and forced into childbirth without consent.
Childbirth without consent.
Forced
You have
childbirth.
you have had instant access to abortion for your entire lives
For
up
50
until
years.
not even over yet.
Yeah, somebody started puberty the day that this went into effect, and now their eggs are powder. So,
This was only a warning. We demand the disbanding of all anti-choice establishments, fake clinics, and violent anti-choice groups within the next 30 days. This is not a mere difference of opinion, as some have framed it. We are literally fighting for our lives. We will not sit still while we are killed and forced into servitude. We have run thin on patience and mercy for those who seek to strip us of what little autonomy we have left. As you continue to bomb clinics and assassinate doctors with impunity, so too shall we adopt increasingly extreme tactics to maintain freedom over our own bodies. We are forced to adopt the minimum military requirement for a political struggle. Again, this was only a warning. Next time, the infrastructure of the enslavers will not survive. Medical imperialism will not face a passive enemy. Wisconsin is the first flashpoint, but we are all over the U.S., and we will issue no further warnings. And we will not stop. We will not back down, nor will we hesitate to strike until the inalienable right to manage our own health is returned to us.
Where were these people when COVID was being locked down and all that kind of bullshit and trying
their
to push
homes, where they should have been.
vaccinations?
Now,
Yeah.
was I the only person to notice that at least a few of those sentences sounded like something that came from that article just now?
Mhm.
At
almost
least
sounds-
a few of those sentences could have been written right into that article and sounded totally not out of place at all.
The very end almost sounded a lot like Anonymous's credo of we don't, what is it? We don't forget, we don't forgive, or some crap like that.
I can one up that a little bit. It reminds me of a comic strip from Calvin and Hobbes where Calvin said, "You don't know who we are, you'll never find us." Love Calvin.
I love that comic strip.
Calvin Hobbes is great.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are not one group, but many. We are in your city. We are in every city. Your oppression only strengthens our accompliceship and resolve. Jane's Revenge.
It just says Jane's Revenge. That's all. Jane's Revenge. It's like, okay, is there a one really, really pissed off woman named Jane?
No,
Yes,
I
Jane Roe.
I think Jane's Revenge is the white girl equivalent of Montezuma's Revenge when you eat like bad Mexican food.
They do realize what Jane Roe said after the trial,
Look,
right?
you're full of hate facts. We don't point out the fact that she lied under oath, that she made up her whole
Yeah.
story. No, this is about women.
Not only that, but didn't she basically regret what she did afterwards?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she turned her life completely 180 and went in the
Yeah.
completely opposite direction. Look, this is about saving women, particularly POC, and you're a monster if you go against that because I said so, and that means we should all harass you and threaten you, blah, blah, blah. These people are fucking crazy,
Yes, they are.
and
They're
kinda
crazy.
racist.
They're crazy. They're totally uninformed about the most basic of facts. It's like they grew up in a bubble being fed a diet of nothing but constant insanity, and then were just unleashed upon the world.
You know, if you think
Whoa.
about it, aborting a lot of black babies, that's wiping out smallpox.
Oh, Jesus.
I thought
Yeah,
that was a good one.
It really sounds like the Klan was founded Planned Parenthood. So I don't know. This whole thing is fucking stupid, and they make it sound like women are going to die every day out in the street, just plopping kids out. There's a video from I think it's Vietnam where this woman is crossing the street, stops, squats down, plops a kid out, picks the kid up, and keeps going. It's fucking gross, by the way. But yeah, women have been giving birth since the beginning of humanity. It's pretty straightforward process. Yes, some will die
That's just
because
how
of
strong the
disease.
patriarchy is, Jack. Even at the dawn of humanity, the patriarchy has been forcing women not to have abortions and give birth.
Those bastards. It's a plot as old as the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
And now, with the end of the second article, comes the second game, which is for the chat only. I like boobs.
You do?
Well,
Hey, I like boobs too.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool, aren't they?
We should.
Let-
We should
let's start
we
a
should
band.
Start a show. Yeah. We should have our own little group about men who like boobs.
No, you'd have to have a conspiracy about that because men, pretty questionable. So you'd have to call it the boob conspiracy or the
Or just toxic
boobanati.
masculinity. Just call the band toxic masculinity. People will get it.
the titty
There you
committee.
But it's a small group, so it'd be an itty bitty.
Yeah. All right, and that's the caption contest, where I'll show a photo of a political figure or event, and the chat has to come up with a caption for it, and whichever one we like best, I'll tweet out after the show.
God, is this going to be that picture that you had on your Discord?
So,
We'll find out.
This week we have Calvin Klein's pregnant man.
Oh God, it is. Hi.
Yay! Oh, look at that.
Isn't he radiant?
Mhm.
What about that quote unquote woman next to her? That looks like a dude.
That's transphobic.
I don't
So
care.
Calvin Klein has officially descended to the level of DeviantArt.
Oh no, they used to have like borderline pedo ads in the 90s. So
Yeah.
Okay, so which one's Calvin and which one's Hobbes?
Well, I don't know. That's Bill Gates on the left, and then
And like a whiter Michelle Obama on the right.
yes.
Let's see. Wait until they find out this is all gas.
yeah, he just had a lot of burritos.
Somebody needs to Photoshop like a steak in that hand.
Mhm.
Stab the gut.
The ultimate beer belly.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be funny if this wasn't supposed to be a pregnant male, but instead was just a guy with a huge beer belly, and she was just worshiping the man with the beer belly?
I feel judged right now for some reason.
Yeah.
That would be like it would be the ultimate picture of toxic masculinity.
Oh, my question is: has this guy, quote unquote guy, obviously he has had top surgery? Has he had bottom surgery? Will this have to be a cesarean section?
No. Men can give birth through their penises. I heard.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
explodes like
got
a hot dog in a microwave.
Yeah, it's just like passing an 8-pound kidney stone. Yeah.
This is
Jesus
why you
Christ.
don't eat Taco Bell.
Let's see.
I'm just imagining like it explodes and peels backwards all of a sudden.
Maybe it'll just be
Like
it'll
a-
just chest burst its way out. You know.
Like in cartoons when you stick your finger down the barrel of the gun and the gun just explodes and peels back. That's what it would look like.
Some guys have a 6-pack, but I have a pony keg.
Let's see. 21st century nuclear family. Don't worry, babe. You'll get rid of this beer gut in no time. This is why you don't eat Taco Bell.
Do you suffer from constipation?
Ah,
Yeah,
sweet.
I like green patches.
Sweet man-made horrors beyond my comprehension.
Visit
Visit Chernobyl,
Chernobyl.
perfectly vacation location. Just had a child and it was delicious.
Oh.
Do you suffer from constipation? This shows you just what happens when the Supreme Court overturned Roe.
I was going to go with Della, but then Green Badger outdid him. I think the constipation one is best.
Yeah.
You know what I would see as like the penultimate occurrence in this picture is if the woman who pretends that she's a man on the left and the man on the right pretending to be a woman actually are the parents of that child. And they just
what would be the ultimate occurrence, Moonshock?
the ultimate occurrence would be that kid bursting out of that thing's belly and being like, "What's up, bitches?"
And then it sings, "Hello, my baby," like in Spaceballs. Let's see. This baby is so nice we can abort it twice.
Okay, I like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll give another 10 seconds or so. Fucking A?
What?
I don't know.
That's it?
Maybe it was a mistype. I don't know.
Fucking A.
Fucking A, man.
No, it is boosting A.
Yeah.
Boosting.
Well, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Fuqing. It's Chinese.
Boosting.
Oh, I think it's supposed to be fucking aliens.
Ah,
Oh, okay. Wait, that's very anti-Latino.
Congratulations, it's a xenomorph. Alright, well, I think I'll cut it off there. So, which one do you guys think is best?
I'm gonna go with
Do
Johnny.
you have constipation?
I'm going with Johnny's. This baby is so nice we can abort it twice.
yeah, I was going to go Green Badger, but I think Johnny's is funnier. So I'll go Johnny Hellcat. With,
I don't know. I think I'm
double
going
abortion.
Green Badger. Jack Cochran, did you vote?
I'm gonna go with Old Grouchy. Some guys have a 6-pack, but I have a pony keg.
Alright, well, that means we have a tie then.
Who was our tiebreaker?
Well, I think Jack C is the one who voted for a unique option. So I think he should be the one to decide between the two that it's tied between.
So
I would have to, between those two, I would have to go with Johnny. Sorry, Green.
Alright. Well, congrats
Jack,
to
you suck.
This was democracy at work, folks.
Well, congratulations to Johnny for winning this week.
This is what happens when you let Australians breed.
That's not a fact, it's just facts.
That
Alright,
guy's a marsupial.
Alright, I'll just copy that down so I can tweet it out later.
Well, if this was if they were Tanktonese from Alienation, then yeah, this would be accurate.
Wait a second. I'm being told by Braniel. He's asking if Johnny Hellcat wouldn't he be prohibited?
Oh,
Why? Because he has kids?
No, it's a joke because Johnny filled in for Jack one time on the stream. So as a joke, we prohibited Johnny Hellcat as well as Gunsky.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but he's not Jack, so it doesn't count.
But it says on the screen Johnny Hellcat prohibited.
that only applies when they are actually actively on the show.
Yeah.
I'm altering the deal.
This deal is getting worse every time.
All right. And now it's time for our third article. Is the female gaze the future of storytelling?
No.
Gaze or Gays?
Z.
Oh, I gotta look this bitch up. Haley Green. Huh?
Do I care?
Yes.
You know
Yes,
you do.
do.
If you have been on the internet for some time, you have likely come across the male gaze theory, which was first introduced by 20th century art critic John Bergen, and later popularized by film critic Laura Mulvey.
Yeah,
The male
it's
gaze
a
is-
stupid notion.
The male gaze is usually spoken about in terms of film, but can be applied to virtually any method of storytelling, and it is guaranteed that some of your favorite stories have been governed by this phenomenon. The male gaze is exactly what it sounds like. when an audience views a story from the perspective of a heterosexual man.
That just makes it even worse that it's a heterosexual man. Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Heterosexual.
probably a cis heterosexual man.
Oh no! I can't
Oh,
take this.
no.
La 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 la.
No.
Space.
Fucking straighties.
You may be familiar with the overused trope of the aggressively masculine main character with an objectified female sidekick. And this is the male gaze in a nutshell. Personally, many of my favorite stories rely heavily on the male gaze as a means to captivate audiences. Think of any blockbuster franchise ever. But much more, and this is where the female gaze comes in. The female gaze is a response to the male gaze, so it may be assumed that the goal would be to over-sexualize men and essentially give them a taste of their own medicine. But that is not the
Yeah,
case.
because men have never been sexualized in film ever.
Now,
Right.
Ever.
besides anything else, they know that the men would enjoy it. That's why they don't
Yeah.
want to do it.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh my god, imagine complimenting a man." The
Why would anyone
horror.
do that?
Yeah,
Why
like
would
you know,
anyone do that?
like you know how in all guy movies, like the protagonist is like a skinny, wimpy, ugly guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
It's not like Marvel has specifically gone out of their way to give every single male actor a very specific look so that they can play a superhero.
But beyond that, there's a reason that Fabio has never been on the cover of any romance novels, because
True.
that would be the male gaze, and they don't want to pander to men in those.
They don't want him looking at the reader, gazing
Yeah.
at them through the cover paper. Oh, it'd be weird.
Is her name spelled Hailie?
Something like that.
Because I can't find her at all.
I don't know.
I
Let's
don't know. Don't care.
Let's see. As the male gaze does a fine job of objectifying their male audience as well. Instead, the female gaze moves in a different direction and focuses more on humanity rather than external looks. Audiences are meant to be stimulated by intimacy and emotion rather than eye candy alone.
So they're all fat and ugly. Got it.
This is where the male gaze often falls flat. Both men and women are made to be ogled at, and just one idea of masculinity and femininity is presented to the audience. One of my favorite examples of the male versus female gaze is the case of Harley Quinn in the DC Suicide Squad franchise.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
Here we
Now,
go.
I wasn't looking at Harley Quinn. Trust me.
Of course, they're going to go to Harley. It's the one they all know and love of the superhero chicks.
In the 2016 film, Harley is a classic case of over-sexualization. She essentially wears underwear throughout the entirety of the film, and the relentless close-up shots of her ass say enough in itself. In contrast, the 2020 film Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, has a refined version of Harley Quinn, one that does not have to rely on her boyfriend to have a purpose. She takes her life...
Wasn't the movie just originally called Birds of Prey?
Yes.
And then they switched it over to Harley Quinn Birds of Prey because they wanted to push her as hard as possible.
It's the emancipation and something of Harley Quinn.
Overly long title to seem
Yeah.
quirky and fun, but in reality just seems really draining and obnoxious.
Yes,
Sort of like the modern interpretation of Harley Quinn.
sort of like modern women. I
Yeah,
mean,
But that film was a smash hit blockbuster, right?
Yeah, totally.
it was a smash hit at Blockbuster.
I'm sure somebody smashed it somewhere.
Let's see. She takes her life into her own hands, and rather than claiming to be Daddy's little monster, as famously displayed on her baby tee of the 2016 film, her shirt instead displays her name, which inspires the theme of female autonomy. The Suicide Squad is just one example of many where the male gaze commits a disservice to its female characters. Women in film are often separated into distinct categories. the first of which has women serving the purpose of a sex symbol who offers little to the plot. On the
Wait, are you suggesting that movies have tropes? Holy shit! I've never heard of a movie that had tropes before.
We'll need to get Anita Sarkeesian on one of these days. She knows a bit about those.
Yeah, but none of us can afford to join her Discord, though.
That's
True.
true.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, filmmakers can fall victim to the virtue-signaling goal of empowering women, to the point where the strong female leads have no flaws or character development. Hello, Charlie's Angels reboot.
I'm just amazed that they actually call that out as virtue signaling. Normally, they're like, we need more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, this
Women-
is the other side of the coin. This is, now that I've gotten what I want, I'm going to complain about it endlessly because I'm never satisfied.
Well, that's her entire career, though, is sitting around whinging about minor stuff that nobody should care about.
Okay, I've figured it out. If she's never satisfied, she needs to try Snickers.
Oh, that's a good point.
She's not her when she's hungry.
Is that your way of saying? Is that your way of saying she needs a black guy?
Yes.
Well,
No,
probably does.
This person would never be. You could give this lady every single thing she ever wanted, ever, exactly as she pictures it in her mind, and she would still find stuff to bitch about because that's who she is. She's just a nasty, nasty piece of shit.
Women are complex people, too. We are not perfect, but we are valuable in all our variations of femininity. If only storytellers could properly display this. Here we usher in the female gaze in film, a lens that views the sexes as real humans, not flesh suits of sex appeal or robotic perfection. I would argue that the female gaze often has more nuanced and realistic depictions of both female and male characters. While the male gaze intends to sexualize women and promote a certain prototype of masculinity, the female gaze is interested in the humanization of the sexes. Rather than focusing...
I have an idea for the author. How about, instead of bitching about the problem, you go out and make a movie? Go out and make your own movie. Write one. Write a brilliant fucking movie with your shitty ideas in it and display it to the world and show them how brilliant your ideas are.
No, but don't you just complain about sexism when nobody watches it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the reason is that people like her are already in the film industry and they're producing dog shit. They're producing absolute dog shit. And that's because a person with this sort of set of ideals just isn't very creative and isn't very intelligent and is doomed to create bad shit.
Yeah, but only female filmmakers are able to depict people being human.
True.
Yeah, because men are barely human. I mean, they're defective girls. Let's be real.
Women are human beings and men are pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's obvious. I mean, did that even need to be said?
Yeah. Let's see. Rather than focusing on prepped and edited bodies that took months of training and disordered eating to accomplish, the audience is invited to connect to the person. Another drastic difference between the male and female gaze is the idea of attraction being found in intimacy rather than sex. See here the infamous moment between Elizabeth and Darcy in the 2005 version of Pride and Prejudice.
We don't need to see that.
Nobody wants to watch that. Fucking Pride and Prejudice, God.
Plus, post 2000.
The female gaze.
If I'm gonna watch an old classic thing on a movie, why would I watch one that was made after 2000?
Pride and Prejudice 2005, directed by Zack Snyder.
Exactly.
Lens flare. Oh.
No, that's J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. So the main character dies and is brought back and fights everybody for a minute for no reason.
Yeah, Zack Snyder
you're confusing your hacks.
slow motion and way too many explosions, and you can barely see anything.
And the Flash shows up and he runs like he's swimming through the air because he doesn't know how running works. Then he
Let's see.
choke slams a bitch.
The female gaze does not apply only to female-led stories, though. Films such as Wayne's World, American Psycho, and Point Break were all directed by women, and encapsulate the female gaze, despite the apparent male demographic.
Wait. This is going to be great. I want to know how Wayne's World is a shining example of feminism. I
want to know. I want to know how American Psycho is an example of feminism. A movie about a guy who murders hookers.
Let's see. It might not seem obvious at first, but all of these male-led films have realistic and complex depictions of masculinity, which is one
Do
of them.
they?
Yeah, all
Have
men
you
are
seen
psychopaths.
American Psycho ever?
Yeah, that's the point. She thinks all men are murderous psychopaths.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And they can aim a chainsaw like frickin' Hawkeye.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Let's see. It may come as a surprise that a film such as American Psycho, in which the main character repeatedly brutalizes women, classifies as a female gaze film, but hear me out. In American Psycho, director Mary Herron essentially offers a satire that aims to expose the seedy underbelly of male violence and ego, something that is not...
Fuck you!
Yeah.
Fuck you, you unbelievable cunt! Get fucked! Get absolutely fucked, you sack of shit! You do not get to compare all men to the main character in American Psycho, you unbelievable cunt.
No,
I told you.
she just did. She just did that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Told you so. Told you so.
Jack, do you like Huey Lewis in the News?
Me? Yes, of course I do. I was an 80s kid.
Let's see.
They told me about the power of love.
Yeah. Let's
Do you
see.
like Phil Collins?
I kind of do, actually. Not gonna lie.
I like
that's
Phil Collins, too.
shameful. Oh.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I like
Phil
Huey
Collins.
Lewis and Phil Collins.
It's only
Huey-
one of them both. They're both good.
Huey Lewis is better than Phil Collins.
I like Huey Lewis.
No.
I like Huey Lewis's style of music more than Phil Collins, but I think they're both talented.
I think they're talented in different ways, though.
Exactly.
I think it's an unfair comparison to make me choose between those two as being who's
The
better.
best depiction of Phil Collins was in South Park.
I thought you were gonna go with the Land of Confusion video where they're all puppets.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
That was
creepy
pretty
as
awesome
shit.
video.
That's why it's awesome.
All right, let's see. Something that is not readily discussed in films that aim to please the male viewer. I have nothing against men enjoying movies, of course, but it is
Bullshit.
important. But it is important for both sexes to be treated in a more nuanced way in film, whether it's a popcorn flick or a future cult classic, because at the end of the day, mainstream storytelling and pop culture influences how we perceive each other and ourselves. We need to do a better job at humanizing the sexes and discard unnecessary objectification while we're at it. How many times must we sit through the same camera shot panning up a woman's body just so male audiences can feel gratified?
I'll tell you when it's enough.
Why is it so bad to objectify a woman?
It's not.
Because it's better to objectify a man.
Because men are lesser. Just ask them.
I mean,
Well.
seriously, why is it bad to point out that a woman is attractive?
Oh, what? How dare you?
No. It's because that implies that you want to have sex with her. And as we discovered, sex is violence. Because,
It could potentially
idea.
lead to a baby.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
want to
no,
torture
and-
and murder millions of people with your frickin' baby maker.
Yeah, with your bastard seed.
you should be
How
ashamed
dare
of
you
yourself,
plant it in
Constantine.
infertile ground, you monster.
All right. Well, with the end of the third article comes the final game.
This
You
is
know,
the best game.
I looked everywhere for this frickin' woman and through the entire time you read this, and I could not find her at all. It's like she doesn't even exist.
Well, there's
If
probably
only.
not a wide angle lens good enough for a solid picture.
Yeah, you need an IMAX camera.
Either that or it's a dude pretending to be a woman for virtue signal points.
And that is Po or No Gender Edition,
Oh God, I'm so bad at this.
where I'll give you 3 genders, 2 of which are from the LGBTIA wiki, meaning they're 100% real, and 1 I made up. And you have to figure out which one is made up.
No, you don't make them up. You just come up with one that's going to be on there next week.
Jack, you're forgetting that the only person who's really good at this game is Frosted Glass.
Yeah, because he's
Oh, dude.
Gender Kreskin. You can
No,
fucking
no,
see the
but the-
future of what's going to be posted next week. I'm pretty sure you're an editor on this site.
No. The thing is, as the Babylon Bee has proven, all satire is actually prophecy.
Yeah, and it scares the hell out of me because some of the shit that he says is like horrifying.
And,
V did a video on cake gender. So I haven't watched it yet, but I definitely want to see what his thoughts on cake gender are.
Oh,
I saw the title of that video and I'm like, oh, V, you sweet innocent.
Yes, I know. I was actually thinking of like putting it on Twitter and saying someone hasn't been watching The Corner.
right?
Cake gender is nothing compared to some of the ones we've seen.
I know.
It's still dumb.
All right. And wait, Terry, this is our 300 sub edition, is it not?
It is.
So that should mean we should alter it in some way, should we not?
No.
Oh,
If you've got
no!
If you've got 300 genders, this will be the best version of this game ever.
300 genders and 1 fake gender that I made up.
Yes.
No! No! Why?
That's right. 4 genders.
Oh God, why?
Ugh.
I was close. I had the right idea. I just overshot.
I
I hate
really
you.
think that Frosted hates us secretly.
Mhm.
I hate you.
Well, if he hated us, why would he let us play this awesome game?
Comedy value.
I want you to die.
Leave it
I'm
to
ca-
Frosted to give us the D.
I'm chaotic evil. All right, so gender A. Oh, and since it's Friday the 13th, I went with a horror theme.
Oh, of course you
God.
did.
So gender A,
Waiting for Jason gender.
spawn gender.
Oh.
Ficta gender, where one's gender feels like it emanates from a dark, sinister place.
Ficta gender. Oh God.
Yeah, remember the like fictive kins, like Harry Potter kins, stuff like that from Tumblr.
Fuck's sake. Oh my God. Why?
Is-
Sad
Isn't
as I've heard
all-
of that.
Isn't every other gender a ficta gender?
Basically.
All but 2.
Gender B, Silent Hill gender.
Oh God.
Xenogender related to the Silent Hill series of video games.
No.
Wouldn't it be Silent Hill gender?
Gender C, Freddy gender. Ficta
Gee.
gender connected to Freddy Krueger from the Nightmare on Elm Street series.
So you're only real in your dreams.
Oh, that one. I would love to see a flag that has a spiked gauntlet on there.
It would just look like a sweater because they're lazy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It'd just be red and green stripes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and gender D, Cthulhu gender.
Oh
Okay,
God.
that one's real.
Xenogender that feels very powerful, but often in hibernation.
Oh my god.
Well, the descriptions are the best part.
It's
All right.
so self-absorbed. These people are so self-absorbed. It's incredible.
And
I'm
I'll start.
gonna say,
I'll
I'm
start
gonna
a
say
poll
Freddy
for the
gender is
chat,
fake.
and don't forget that one of the options is that they're all real.
I'm going to say Freddy gender is fake because they would never identify with a male character.
Apparently, it only lets me put 4 options for a poll, so I can't put they're all real.
You said Paul. So apparently they're not all real.
I don't know. I have no idea on this one. I'm just gonna go with A because I don't know. I like Spawn.
I'm gonna say B.
I'm going with
Probably
Freddy
spread.
gender. Yeah.
All right.
So we got two for Freddy gender.
All right. Well, let's see what the chat thinks. Looks like
Everyone's
C's in the lead so far.
Freddy gender. My God.
I mean, it might be Silent Phil gender.
Silent Phil.
Evolved Potato brings up an excellent point. Freddy Krueger was a pedo, which does increase the chances that a leftist would identify with him.
Good observation, Evolved.
That's true.
I mean, I'm going to stick with Freddy gender. I'm not going to rethink my strategy, but excellent point, Evolved Potato.
Nope, the best version of Freddy's glove was what is it? I think it was Dream Warriors when they turned into a bunch of syringes. He's like, let's get high.
Classic.
Hell yeah. And I think weren't her little syringe marks all gaping because they wanted the drugs? They're like on her arms. It was awesome. Classic Freddy or classic horror.
I think I was more Halloween when I was young, yeah. Than
except for Halloween 3, that one was stupid.
Mhm.
That Season of the Witch, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen the first Halloween movie.
Halloween 2 is the one that scared me as a kid.
I've seen a handful of Nightmare on Elm Street and almost all of the Friday the 13th because my mum got me a box set. But
Jesus.
I didn't watch a lot of the Halloween ones.
You'll never go camping, kid. Here.
All right. Well, it looks like C's is still in the lead with 18 votes. 18 votes in.
It's a shame that one of these wasn't Resident Evil gender because that would make two. Because Braniel and I were talking about the show, and we talked about both Resident Evil and American Psycho, and so that would have made it a twofer.
All right. Well, I think I'll end the poll there. So, with 19 votes, the chat chose C with what was it, 47% of the vote?
Yes, 47.
All right. And so again, Terry, this is our 300 sub special, right?
No,
Correct.
fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, you prick. You unbelievable prick. Fuck you. I'm not even going to stop. You're going to have to talk over me. Fuck you. You
Which means
piece
that
of shit.
Which means that one surprise just wouldn't be enough.
God.
Eat my ass, you unbelievable prick.
What, is there going to be an E now?
Because they're all fake.
I know it.
You know what's sad is I'm pretty sure that I believe all of these, but I thought I had heard of Cthulhu gender. But yeah, no, that it shocks me they're all fake. It really does. I'm stunned that these fucking weirdos haven't gone this route yet because they already have fictive gender, fictive kin or whatever.
Well,
Fictive kin.
you know what this means, though? It means that we were all correct in a manner of speaking.
We're all winners.
We're all winners. Thank you, Frosted, for making us all winners.
No, well played. That was good. I like that.
Yeah, we are all so jaded that we thought some of these were considered real. And what's sad is by next week, some of them will be.
I won't lie to you. I had an inkling that you might do this because I was thinking about the last time you had a special in quotation marks, and I thought that the special meant that they would all be fake, and then I wouldn't do something that low. I would cheapen the show that much over a special.
I would.
Hey, we get to see 4 Jonathan Frakes this time, so that's a good day.
True.
All right. And now for our final article, which is another one that I saved for Jack.
Oh, God.
And this is another one where I am not going to tell you the name of the article.
Of course.
Great. Ray.
Yay.
I've written about my body weight and body image before, here and
Oh,
here.
God.
It's always one blatty, isn't it?
That is a wonderful picture.
I haven't always been fat. I was thin until I was about 7 years old, and then I got chubby.
So you've always been fat.
For the most part, I stayed chubby until I started flirting with anorexia around age 15. At 19, I had a
No, this is Tess Holiday, isn't it?
At 19, I had a BMI of 23.6, which is very firmly normal weight. But I had a bit of a baby fat look. At 20, I participated in some extreme dieting, and my weight dropped 20 pounds, making my BMI 19.8, which means I was rapidly approaching that underweight marker at 18.5. Even at that point, my lowest adult weight, I still had fat deposits in certain areas, like my belly. It's just the way my body looks, and it probably always will look that way without extreme lifestyle changes or surgery.
Well, yeah, it's because you don't work out, so you have no muscle mass. You just have fat.
Part of
That's why I say when I twist funny and pull something, I pulled a fat because I don't have a muscle there. Blubber.
Part of that fat distribution is having a fat mons pubis, or a fat upper pelvic area, fupa.
Oh, God.
It's
Yeah.
just
That's why.
It's just part of my body, and it likely always will be unless I have surgery. This part of my body has been an insecurity of mine in the past.
Yeah, do
I
some
know it's-
sit-ups, fatty.
I know it's been noticeable to other people because I've received comments from sexual partners about it. I just got a comment from my spouse about it this week. One of my more embarrassing during sex quotes is this one from a guy I had casual sex with in college. Look how fat your shit is.
Wow.
Classy.
Wait. She said her sexual partners. Was she including, like, is she cheating on her husband? Is that what she's saying here?
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and assume it was before she was married.
Oh, okay. She's just a dirty whore. Gotcha.
But to be honest, I'm not that embarrassed about that because, well, it didn't stop him, now did it? I also rolled with it really well in the moment. And anyway, that guy had
Well,
some...
she's fat. Of course she rolled well.
And anyway, that guy had some embarrassing condom-related mishaps himself. Sex is ripe with embarrassment for everybody. What can we say? It was from this context that heard the song "Manners" by Ashnikko, which has these lyrics for its chorus. Fat pussy like Santa, hands up. Fuck shit up, flip a table, go bananas. In the moonlight dancing, no pajamas. That dick tastes like Yankee
Poetry!
Candle.
What?
This is art.
That
This
dick
is
tastes
art.
like Yankee Candle.
Yes. That dick tastes like Yankee Candle.
Preach.
My attention
Oh my God.
my attention immediately tuned into those lyrics. Fat pussy like Santa. A woman celebrating having a fat pussy.
Uh-huh.
And then again, I heard similar lyrics in the last verse from Savage by Megan Thee Stallion. Bitch, I'm lit like a match, ooh. And any nigga I let hit is still attached, ooh.
No,
That-
God.
That body right, but you know this pussy fat, ooh. I drop a picture, now these bitches feel attacked, eh?
Uh-huh.
So basically, this woman listens to stupid ass music
I don't know what you're talking about. Did Bob Dylan write that? Man.
Yeah, it was deep like that.
But I just like the idea that the nigger is still attached. Like he couldn't get his dick out.
Stuck.
It's like a Chinese finger trap.
Yeah.
You know, like that kid with his tongue stuck on the telephone
Yeah.
or the fire pole there.
Yeah.
Megan, a famously full-figured woman and a sex icon, bragging about having a great body, including her fat pussy.
Ew.
I sincerely doubt this.
Why do people want to talk about what their genitals look like all the time? It's weird.
Why do women want to talk about what their genitals look like all the time?
Well, no one knows what a woman is, Jack. So
Yeah.
Yeah, bigot.
I felt so affirmed by these songs, and I'm so grateful for these artists for making them. If you have a fat pussy or a fupa, I hope you feel affirmed by them too.
oh, definitely. I guarantee everyone feels affirmed by such masterful lyrics.
Browsing
I
Etsy,
could do with a little less affirming.
Browsing Etsy, I found some great products celebrating having a fat pussy, like this Fat Pussy Energy vinyl decal from Celestial Red Shop.
Etsy. Of course, it's Etsy.
This Fat Pussy Hex sticker from Salem Hallows.
Oh God! Please tell me that this is gonna transition into a witch thing.
This shirt from Dressed for Duty, and this Fat Coochie Energy vinyl sticker from Mechgoff Expressions. If you have a fat pussy, surgery is not your only option. You also have the option to make them eat it.
Ugh.
Okay, I'm going to take a guess right now and say that the title contains the words quote "my fupa" end quote.
This is really disturbing stuff.
Yeah, bitch, we don't want to know about your fat pussy.
Look, for only $3.23, you can get the Fat Pussy Energy sticker.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, bargain.
Oh, that's
You
probably in
should-
American dollars though, so it'll cost more for me.
You should put that on your bumper, on your car bumper.
No, you should put it on your cat. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh wow.
There.
It's like a
Nope.
nightmare out of a Tijuana Bible.
That just got the stream demonetized.
We've been monetized?
This channel's never getting monetized. Who you kidding?
Now, isn't this what the women of today need?
Is that
Sure.
Oh, it's a decal.
I'm-
When it had the pattern there, it looked like it was a tablecloth.
I'm starting to think that at least 25% of the female population need a full frontal lobotomy.
my God,
No,
this
I just had a
moron.
great idea. We can combine the stories. We can have a fat pussy energy sticker with a green arrow pointing downwards.
Oh, I feel bad for the cat in this article because that picture is adorable of a big fat kitty cat on its back, and it didn't deserve this article. It deserved a fun article.
That's the cat equivalent of I've fallen and I can't get up.
And
Yeah.
Gunsky was wrong. The title does not contain that phrase.
Doesn't contain
I
what
can
phrase?
just
He said the title would have my fupa in it, or my fat fupa.
yeah, I know.
Oh. Well, that's all I had for tonight, gentlemen. So,
Yay.
I now feel like that cat after having heard this article. It's the look of sheer panic in its eyes. Ah!
no,
Sees her
it's
coming and she's gonna sit on him.
no, it's either I've fallen and I can't get up, or paint me like one of your French girls, Jack.
Paint me like one of your fat girls.
All right, so I'll take a moment to shill my co-host and guest. I Like Boobs has Quippers United on his channel. Not this week,
But,
but
not
other
this
weeks.
not this Sunday. No show this Sunday.
But other weeks, it's on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Terry is on Johnny Hellcat streams. He's on Six's Sober streams. He's on One Ton Hammer's Minions Nights. He's on Quippers United. Is that everything?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Moonshock has his Twitch channel linked in the description where he plays games that aren't as good as Super Seducer.
Yep.
And anything you want to shill, Jack?
I'll drop a link to something. Thank you for having me on. This was fun as always.
Right over to Monkey Stream.
No problem. Why would he want to be on Monkey's stream when he can be here?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't anyone want to be here all the time?
That's
No,
right.
This is one of my favorite streams. I don't know how anyone could not like it.
Yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
of fun, and you say things that I would usually get in trouble for at cocktail parties. You need to leave.
All right, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe, everybody, because as I mentioned, we just reached 300 subs, but we could reach 400.
And to
If-
clarify, when he says all of that, he means to my channel.
You have
Yes.
304 subscribers now.
I think I've got like 20 subscribers, but no content. So
So if you guys start canvassing your neighborhoods like right now, we might be able to get to 400 by the end of the week. All right.
And
So
I think that we should all start canvassing to get Terry more subscribers.
With zero content.
yes,
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
we should get James Woods on.
I guarantee you won't dislike his videos.
That's true.
I just noticed 304 subscribers. Isn't that the thing they use to refer to hoes when they can't say that because of censorship? It's like
That-
304 is like hoe upside down in a calculator.
I don't know. I've never seen that in chats or anything.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with gardening codes.
Yeah.
Usually when they're talking about women, they'll say those 304s meaning hoes.
Oh.
All right. Well, we should be back next week on at the same time, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Boy!